Hey, this is Edward from videoplasty.com, and in this video we will look at Animaker, a do-it-yourself platform for beginners, non-designers and professionals to create animation and live action videos for every moment of their life. Animaker is one of the most popular tools out there to easily create animations for beginners. And at Videoplasty, we make custom explainer animations for clients from scratch using professional tools like Adobe Illustrator or Adobe After Effects, which take hundreds of hours to master, so I know firsthand the amount of work that goes into creating an animated video. So it's very impressive to see a platform that allows you to create similar type of animations, but aimed at beginners who have no previous experience with this. This is not going to be a tutorial for Animaker. While this platform is clearly aimed at beginners, it has a ton of features, so covering that in a 15-minute video is quite hard. It does have a bit of a learning curve, which is normal when you're trying to take something so complex as animation and make it easily accessible to beginners, but they have a ton of tutorials to get you started, and I'm sure there are plenty more available on YouTube if you need more help. So in this video review, we will explore what you can do with Animaker, why I think it's a great platform for beginners, how it compares to other popular options out there for animation, and last but not least, how much it costs. If you decide to get Animaker, they reached out and offered a very nice discount for you, so you can get 30% off on any of the yearly plans by using the code and link in the description, so make sure to check that out. Now let's have a quick look at the dashboard and create a video. So Animaker is a solution in the cloud that you can access from pretty much any desktop that you have. So it doesn't matter if you're in a Mac like myself or if you're in a Windows machine. You can access this online without having to install anything. And I just want to point out, even being able to offer such an amazing solution online without having to install an actual software, that's an amazing feat in and of itself, so kudos to them for pulling this off. Alright, let's log into the dashboard. Alright, so this is the dashboard of Animaker after you log in. And you can obviously start creating a project from scratch, whether it's a horizontal video, which is pretty standard, a vertical video for, let's say for example, Instagram stories, square videos, which are mostly for social media, and even recently they introduced something called voiceover or text-to-speech, where you can actually generate voiceovers for free using AI. It's actually ridiculously good, and I highly recommend you check that out as well. So, what I actually like a lot about this is that they offer a lot of templates. So for someone like me that you want to have a lot of control over, and that might be some of you as well, you want to start something completely from scratch and just build from there. But I imagine for most people out there, templates are going to prove to be super useful. So you can either search for something here, for example, or you can just scroll and see what's available, right? So they got a bunch of different categories. For example, some cartoon videos, like this is a campaign, this is a resume, some video ads, like this is a book trailer, Black Friday sale, and things like that. And you can keep scrolling. You got social media stuff, some invitations or birthday wishes, some Instagram videos, intros, outro, corporate stuff, GIFs, even Instagram stories, and it just keeps going, right? So let's say, for example, we want to use this template. You can also preview it here to see how it looks on a bigger frame, but I'm just going to go ahead and use it to edit this template and make it more customized. All right, so here is the actual video editor, right? This part might be a little bit confusing, but no worries. They have a bunch of tutorials to help you get started. And once you get a hang of it, like this is actually pretty simple, right? Honestly, I don't think it gets simpler than this. The only way to do things simpler is to just hire someone else, to be honest. So you can switch from full view to light view to just remove a couple of controls to make things easier. But I'm just gonna go with full because I wanna see exactly what I'm doing. So let's just preview this video to see how it works. Basically, this is where you can edit everything. Here on the left, you're gonna have a couple of elements that you can keep adding, like characters. Oh, and by the way, for characters, for example, if you don't like the ones that I have here, you can actually go ahead and use what is a custom character builder to create a custom character from scratch exactly how you want it, which I think is super awesome. On top of that, you can also add other elements to the scenes, like a bunch of vector graphics like this, emojis, some text, background images, and things like that. Again, here in the middle is the actual scene editor. On the bottom, you have what is called a timeline. As you can see, it starts from 0 seconds, and you can see a couple of the elements by clicking on them, and then you get a bunch more controls. And then on the right, you have each different scene, because this current Instagram story has 3 scenes. Or if you click on an element, you get a bunch more different controls here on the right. So let's just click play to see what we have in this Instagram story. All right, so everything that you see in all of those scenes, let's say, for example, let's say you don't like this first scene, you can even click this button to delete it. And then we start straight from this scene with a campfire and, somewhere in the woods. And say, for example, you want to edit the text. I don't know, let's delete this one. Let's say, I don't know, time to fly somewhere. I mean, doesn't really make sense with the with the background, but anyway, just for the sake of it. And let's say for characters, let's add another character, because let's say we don't like this just with the tent and the trees. So let's scroll here and yeah, let's use this girl. I really like this one. So all you have to do is drag and drop it here in the scene, and you can resize it, make it smaller, make it larger. I think this is a little bit too large, but let's go with this. I think this is gonna be good enough, and it just fits the scene so well. And here is where you can do a bunch of things. Like you can control, for example, for any character that you add, you can also add a bunch of different expressions. So for example, right now I think it's unhappy, right? So let's look at annoyed. All right, it's a subtle difference, but it's there. Let's look at astonished. There you go. So I'm just gonna go back to happy. I really liked that one. And on top of the expression, you can also add or use different actions for this character. So because we said time to fly somewhere, let's just go, I don't know, let's just select this random one of the girl being on a rocket. And as you can see, the rocket is moving, it's flying, right? Just gonna make this a little bit bigger and put her somewhere in the middle. Adjust the text slightly. Oops. So it just looks very well balanced. And now if I play back just this scene, let's see how it looks. All right, so our element, this one, doesn't have a start animation or an end animation. So here on the timeline, I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter because this is where the next scene starts. And by using those 2 arrows, you can just add a start animation to this specific element and an end animation. So let's click on this, say pop up, and let's use pop top right. And I'm gonna do the same here at the end. So pop down, pop top right. And now let's play back this scene from the beginning to see what we have. Yeah, it just appears from the top right corner in the start animation. So I'm gonna change that. Oops. I'm gonna change that because I want it to be from the, where is it? Bottom left. Yeah, like this. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's all a matter of just choosing a template, changing the elements. All the elements are actually easy to move around. Like for example, if you don't like the tree, you can move it around. You can even make this tree a little bit larger, maybe, for example. Even the colors, like for example, you don't want the tent to be blue, you can make it yellow, red, or whatever you want. It's possible, and everything is customizable, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is how you do one scene, and then you go to the next scene to customize things a little bit. This one has a beach background and things like that. I'm not gonna go make a full video. I just wanted to show you around to see how easy it is to just like add a character, change the expressions of the character, and just move things around because everything is customizable. And the thing is, if you ever get stuck or need any help, you always have this dog right here in the top right corner called Max. And if you click on it, it's gonna give you a visual tour, like a tutorial of how things work, whether you have trouble with characters, text, camera, video, or the timeline. And when it's all said and done and you're ready to to share your video, you just click this button right here that says publish, right? And you can download the video as a video file on your computer. You can download it as a GIF, or you can even publish directly to social media if you're connected to Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, right? And for example, if you're collaborating with someone else, you can even share this as a project so they can work on the same project as you and make a couple of changes themselves. When it comes to other options out there to create animations, I think it's important to look at the actual use case. If you're going for high budget, top of the line, very professional animation for a big company, you're probably better off hiring an animation studio to just build it from scratch. However, we're in the world of do-it-yourself with smaller budgets. So other software options that come to mind which are very popular nowadays are, for example, Toonly or Doodly. However, while I think these are decent products themselves, I think the clear distinction is the long-term goal of these companies. When you can get an animation software like Toonly or Doodly for a one-time fee, I don't think that's going to guarantee you that the team will keep developing the product, improve the user interface and user experience, and keep adding new elements. However, in comparison with Animaker being a monthly subscription, they have every incentive to keep making their product better, so that's definitely something to consider. Alright, so Animaker has a couple of different pricing plans, right? With different price points. But before we look at the difference between those plans and which ones you should go with depending on your use case, I just want to point out the fact that if you go with a yearly subscription, right? Let's look, for example, at the Pro plan. It's going to be $39 per month billed annually, which compared to paying monthly, which is $79, that's more or less a 50% discount. And also keep in mind, Animaker was nice enough and reached out to offer us a further discount. So if you go and subscribe to Animaker for a yearly subscription, you can get another 30% off for 1 year. So keep that in mind when you choose the plan that you want to go with. Now let's look at the actual difference between those plans and a couple of things that I want to point out. So they obviously also have a free plan, which I think it's amazing because it allows you to play around with the software and see if it's a good fit for you, or maybe even in a super personal use case, like maybe you need to do something for school. That's also good as well. But the biggest limitation that you have with it is that you can only make and download videos with a watermark. So keep that in mind. And I think they also have another watermark or logo thing happening at the end. Then we have the basic, starter, pro, and enterprise. And I think the biggest and most important differences between those are, so for example, I wouldn't even look at the basic one because of the resolution. I would get started directly with the starter plan, only because it has a full HD quality. But if you want to use some videos for commercial purposes, like say you want to make an animation for your company or your website or anything like that, you would have to get the Pro plan because it's the only one that has, it's the first one that has commercial rights, as you can see here. And another point to mention, but the pricing is not public, you would have to reach out to Animaker. If you want to use Animaker to sell video animation services to other clients, basically resell videos, you would need to get the enterprise plan because it's the only one that has a license to resell, as you can see here. So if you want to create your own animation studio or animation company using Animaker, you would have to reach out to Animaker about the enterprise plan to make sure you have the proper license to resell those videos. Alright, so that was my video review of Animaker. It's a great do-it-yourself animation platform aimed at beginners, and it's highly recommended. If you're looking to make a video for school, for HR, a training video for your company, sales video, social media video, Instagram story, explainer video, or even to launch your own animation studio business, you can easily do so with Animaker. And you can get started and play around with the platform using the free plan. And if you decide to invest in it, make sure to use the link in the description to get 30% off on any of the yearly plans. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, it would be great if you could gently tap the like button and leave a comment, because it really helps with the YouTube algorithm and it helps me keep making videos like this. And for more useful content in the world of video editing, video animation, and starting a YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out. I'm Edward Stinga from videoplasty.com. You can also follow me on Instagram as well at Edward Stinga and say hi. I really enjoy chatting up with you guys there or here in the comments. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.